it, man. Tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming back at you again with another video. Oh my goodness, people. This is like the good old days. Boy, it doesn't get any better than this, man. Whoa, wow, man. The Djokovic versus Nadal. Well, we got it, man. This is interesting. You know, this is just interesting to see this matchup, man. Just to see it again. Even if the Djokovic loses, it was just nice. It would be nice just to see how the Djokovic will react. And as you're going to hear from me when I do this analysis, it may be more important how the Nadal reacts to this rivalry. Is the Djokovic still a little in Nadal's head? I mean, could this match end up being just about this match and these two guys? Forget the Djokovic trying to come back. Will Nadal feel something differently than he will feel against another opponent who is good? Will the Djokovic feel something differently? Will the Djokovic feel a new level, a new confidence when he get in there against Nadal? So, man, this is interesting, people. I mean, people, listen, there are some matchups, there are some matches or some rivalries. It's about just that matchup. Forget what goes on the outside. Forget how good the players are. Sometimes it's about what those two guys feel about each other, how confident they are when they meet each other on that day. So it's a lot of that going on, and I'm going to sort of get into all that. Okay, people, but let me first of all I'm going to give my prediction first. Tell you who I think is going to win. I'm going to do that very quickly. And then I'm going to tell you how the person who I think is not going, who probably won't win, could win, okay? But let me just get to the point. Okay, people, listen, I think Nadal, I think there's a 60% chance. I'm going to put it in percentage. And the reason I'm putting it in percentage so you will have an idea of what I think the Djokovic's chances are winning. So I think there's a 60% chance that Nadal is going to win this match. And for obvious reasons, the Djokovic is still, I mean, as good as he's looking, is he really, really back? And Nadal, Nadal is Nadal. He's the king of clay. He's doing his thing. So for reasons I don't have to go into, just to turn Nadal is on. He's the king of clay, the god of clay. So Nadal, on all those thousands of reasons that we all know, Nadal is the favorite, and Nadal should win this. So, and not only should he win, I'm going to choose Nadal to win this match, okay? That's it. That's my prediction, okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all how the Djokovic could win this match. And the reason I'm giving him a 40% chance of winning this. And 40% is a lot. That means you got a chance, man. 40% is a lot, man. Especially against Nadal. Okay, people, listen. I just said that. Nadal said a comment the other day that I was shocked. He said it today. He said he doesn't like playing the Djokovic. He would prefer not to play the Djokovic. But he said if he has to play him, he would do the best he can. That didn't sound too confident to me. I mean, especially, and also, considering the Djokovic ain't really, really back, I was a little surprised that Nadal would even put that out. I was surprised that Nadal would let his own self get in his head about the Djokovic. Not saying that's in his head. Nadal could just be being meek and being nice and just being politically correct. But I don't think he was. He went into detail and said the Djokovic is the toughest guy he's ever faced. So now I wanna talk about something let's talk about from Nadal's perspective. When Nadal and the Djokovic, when they hit that first ball at 0-0, trying to get 15 love or love 15, is Nadal going to remember when the Djokovic used to dominate him even on the clay. Y'all remember I told y'all, go back and look at 2013 Monte Carlo finals. The Djokovic just crushed Nadal, people. You would have thought that if you came from another planet, you would have thought the Djokovic was the king and the god of clay. The way he beat Nadal, had him 5-0 the first set, gave him a couple games, beat him 6-2 the first set, crushed him the second set. I think the second set was a little closer, but Nadal still got crushed, man. And I mean, will Nadal, even you would say, well, imagine, man, that Djokovic ain't bad. Nadal knows that Djokovic is trying to get his game back. The Djokovic is not in Nadal's head. Well, we'll find out. And one thing about when somebody's in your head, sometimes it doesn't matter how bad they play. You may get in there and start making errors that you wouldn't make, okay? And Nadal has admitted that the Djokovic is the toughest guy he's ever faced. And even when they asked Nadal who's the greater player between the Djokovic and Federer back in the day. Now, of course, he probably would say Federer now because Federer's already won many more majors. But back in just 4 years ago, they asked Nadal who was the greater player, and Nadal said that's complicated. It's very complicated. It's a complicated question. Even Nadal, that he couldn't say Federer was the greater player. So, I mean, that was then, though. But I'm just saying, so here's the deal. If I was coaching the Djokovic, here's the first thing I would tell the Djokovic to do. First of all, the Djokovic, Fognini got got that first set off Nadal. You are better than Fognini. You got more experience than Fognini. You are smarter than Fognini. You know, you got a greater conditioning than Fognini. And so the Djokovic get that first set. Because we don't know how Nadal is going to react. Maybe Nadal could get a little psyched out, start remembering when the Djokovic used to beat him so many times in the first set, and then the second set, and the third set, and the 100th set. So I would tell the Djokovic, get that first set, okay? And let's see how Nadal, play hard and try to bring back as much stuff as you can remember to bring back. And see, there's people, listen here. I just thought of something. There could be little subtle things that the Djokovic probably did against Nadal that he didn't do against other players. It could be subtle stuff in a match that he could use to intimidate Nadal. It could be maybe when he hit a big shot, he would stir Nadal down. Maybe other players were intimidated to stir Nadal down. So maybe the Djokovic wasn't, and that sort of psyched Nadal out a little bit, especially if the Djokovic backed it up with a big shot. So that's one thing. So that's from the Nadal side. Will Nadal, see, everybody's talking about, will the Djokovic be confident against Nadal? I'm going to get to that in a second. The thing is, how will Nadal react to a pretty good player in the Djokovic? Okay, now from the Djokovic side. The Djokovic, listen, he needs to get in there and just try to feel, can he bring back that feeling, that confidence he used to have when he used to dominate Nadal on other surfaces and even dominate him on clay? Can he bring back that feeling? Can he some way keep the game, keep the match close? Now that's one thing, that's crucial. Well, I would definitely tell the Djokovic, try to get that first set. I know Nishikori beat the Djokovic like 6-2 or 6-3, that first set today, or 6-2. No. Don't give Nadal any confidence. Not saying he couldn't beat Nadal the second set. No, that's bad news. You want to get on top of Nadal, man. Get on top of Nadal that first set and try to get in his head and make Nadal remember how great you were. Okay? Now, here's another thing here. The reason, you may say, well, imagine, man, why didn't you pick the Djokovic then? I mean, if you're talking about all this head-tripping stuff and that he could have, he may be able to bring back the psychological edge he had over Nadal, why wouldn't you pick him then? I'm going to tell you the number one reason why I'm picking Nadal, it don't have anything to do with Nadal having 10 French Opens. I'm serious. It got to do with the Djokovic does. I don't believe the Djokovic, as well as he's playing, the Djokovic, you remember I was telling y'all people that the Djokovic, and I also said Zverev, he ain't going to be great until he get into that, break into the super level. The super level is what Federer has, what Nadal has, what Wawrinka tapped into, what Andy Murray tapped into, and what the Djokovic had. And the Djokovic had the highest super level of all of them. And so I don't think that Djokovic, as well as he's playing, like when he beat Nishikori today, yeah, he outplayed Nishikori the last set, but I didn't feel he was out of Nishikori's level. The Djokovic, even if he was close to Nishikori 4 years ago, you felt that Djokovic was out of Nishikori's level and out of all those fools' levels. So the Djokovic got the some way, man. I know he only got a day. I don't know. Maybe Nadal can bring it out of him. Maybe Nadal can bring the devil out of the Djokovic. Remember I said about this matchup is about these two guys. Maybe Nadal can bring the devil out of the Djokovic, and maybe the Djokovic can bring, I'm going to use this word, the biatch or the pussy out of Nadal. I'm telling you, if that happens, the Djokovic could pull this upset off. So that's the reason why I'm picking Nadal is that I think the Djokovic has got back a lot. I would give him an A, probably an A minus. The only reason I wouldn't give him an A, why would I give him an A or A plus, Magic, for his recovery? Because I don't believe he's got back the super level. But maybe Nadal can make the Djokovic, maybe the Djokovic will be like, I can't beat this guy unless I play at a higher level. Maybe it'll come back, okay, against Nadal. So that's it, people. So I got Nadal winning this, giving him a 60% chance. The Djokovic a 40% chance, but can the Djokovic pull off the upset? Yes, he can. Will I be surprised if the Djokovic pulls off the upset? No, I won't. Will I be surprised? Let me say this here. If the Djokovic not only beat Nadal, if he took and beat Nadal straight sets, for whatever reason, whether Nadal played bad, whether the Djokovic played super level, whether the Nadal got psyched out about something in the past, I don't think that's going to happen. But if the Djokovic beat Nadal straight sets, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, people? Tennis preacher, tennis prophet, tennis psychic. Have a good one.